జూబ్లీ హిల్స్లోని అంబేద్కర్ ఓపెన్ యూనివర్సిటీలో కీ మేకర్స్ యూత్ సమ్మిట్ 2019 కార్యక్రమం జరుగుతోంది. ఈ కార్యక్రమానికి టీఆర్ఎస్ వర్కింగ్ ప్రెసిడెంట్ కేటీఆర్ ముఖ్య అతిథిగా హాజరయ్యారు. ఆ కార్యక్రమంలో కేటీఆర్ మాట్లాడుతున్నారు. ఇప్పుడు లైవ్ చూద్దాం.
Whenever I meet some people who say, I've spent 30 years in, government service, or 30 years in Mahindra & Mahindra, or, 25 years in Ashok Leyland, and when I share that experience with some young people like you, I've spent 30 years in, government service, or 30 years in Mahindra & Mahindra, or, 25 years in Ashok Leyland, and when I share that experience with some young people like you, you're surprised. You don't understand how somebody can stick on to same organization and same job for so many years in one go. I don't know if any of you in this room are going to stay in one job for next 30 years. I don't think any of you actually will stay in a job for more than 2 or 3 years. So that's the kind of generation we live in. That's the kind of times we live in. There are, Sri Charan just pointed out, there are the Zuckerbergs, there are Steve Jobs of the world. Let me tell you one thing, and let me admit to this unabashedly also, without thinking twice. I've lived in the United States for about 8 years. I've lived in many other countries also for some time. World over today, Indians as a nation, Indians as intellectual people are acknowledged, are accepted. The world understands that we have great problem-solving abilities. The world acknowledges that we are fantastic when it comes to analytical skills. The world acknowledges a lot of things about us. That's why you have a Sundar Pichai running Google. You have a Satya running Microsoft. You have many, many others. Ajay Banga running the MasterCard. I can go on. There are many, many people who are either chief executives or the managing directors or fantastic, people who are running large multinationals. But unfortunately, at the same time, the world does not think very much of Indians when it comes to entrepreneurial capabilities. So if you look around, you have a Zuckerberg, who I don't think he's even completed his, graduation. You also have many, many other entrepreneurs who may not have done a great deal. In fact, Travis Kalanick, the guy who founded Uber. Many of you use Uber. How many of you use Uber here? Or many of you? How many of you use Ola? Equally good. See, Travis was here. Travis Kalanick is the founder of Uber. He was here in Hyderabad to launch something. So I asked him, I said, how did you come up with this idea of Uber? He said, me and my friend back in 2009, we were in Paris one day. We went out clubbing. We went out to a pub. And, we were out until 2 a.m. in the morning. And then eventually we all decided to head home. We walked out and we kept hailing for a cab. It just, nobody would stop. Almost half an hour later, the friend who was standing next to me said, wouldn't it be nice if you could hail a cab at a click of a button? That was a trigger. That was a trigger for the whole idea of Uber. And today, it is the world's wealthiest startup, Uber. It's one of the largest in the world. Point I'm trying to make is, it's not like you have to come out with a earth-shattering invention. No. Look around. Be receptive to ideas. Be receptive to challenges. Once you start looking around, once you start identifying opportunities, then you'll realize that in every challenge, there is a hidden opportunity. In every problem that you see right in front of you, staring at you, there is an opportunity for you to innovate. There is an opportunity for you to disrupt. And let me also say this, and this might not sound very good, but nevertheless, you need not be original all the time. You could even be, for example, there is an Amazon, but then there is a Flipkart, there is a Snapdeal, there is a Myntra. The model is the same, but they've customized it, they've tweaked it a bit to suit our Indian mindset, to suit our Indian needs and Indian conditions. So you need not be original all the time. It's all about giving that one little tweak, one little, spin on how that can be customized to our needs and to our situations. Now, let me also quickly say one thing, and I think this is what has been said by somebody very, very important, and I'm sure somebody who you all look up to, Spider-Man. What did he say? With great power comes, wow, you know Spider-Man like I don't anyways. But at the same time, you cannot be reckless, you cannot be irresponsible. Meaning, I'm not trying to preach, I'm not trying to give you a lesson in morality, but I can just tell you, you cannot disinherit your culture, your language, your stories, or your history. Exactly like what Sri Charan said, you need not be, you may not be able to converse very well in English. You may not be able to be one of the best speakers there is in English. You may not be very fluent in English. That doesn't matter. That does not matter. Look at China. China, again, is similar to India in so many things. In terms of size, in terms of the number of people, in terms of, the geographical expanse, etc. And look at the wealth they have created. Look at the number of entrepreneurs who may not be even speaking English, but the kind of products they've come out with, the kind of amazing stuff that they've come out with, the kind of global benchmarking solutions that they've come out with. That is a lesson for us right there. And in fact, use your diversity, use the diversity in India as a huge opportunity. India has, just to remind you, we're a very heterogeneous country, you all know that. Everything changes every 150, 200 kilometers. The language, the culture, the cuisine, the eating habits, the dialect, everything changes every 150 kilometers. So therein lies a huge opportunity. If you're able to address the 900 million Indians out there who do not speak English in their own vernacular language, come out with solutions for them in Telugu, in Tamil, in Marathi, in Punjabi, in Bengali, in Tulu, in languages that do not even have a script, therein lies a huge opportunity. You need not be very conversant, very fluent in English. That is not something that will make you an entrepreneur. Your English speaking skills is not something that will make you a successful entrepreneur. Your ability to be ingenious when it comes to identifying an opportunity is what is going to make the difference. But for that to happen, you need to be grounded. You need to be connected to the world that you live in. You cannot be isolated. Now let me quickly sum up. Even in Telangana, in the state, like Charan pointed out, we created T-Hub, which again is a platform for you to come and innovate. It's not just a building, it's not just cool interiors. It is a platform for you to come, collaborate, to network, to basically mingle with other youngsters who are looking to do something and innovate. The other thing we've also done, which we are extremely proud of, is called RICH, the Research and Innovation Circle of Hyderabad. It is also equally important since we are in Ambedkar Open University, since we also have a lot of researchers working at this university and also a number of other wonderful institutions across Hyderabad. It is also important for us to realize a lot of academic research that happens in our universities, that happens in our centers of excellence, unfortunately, is not worth commercialization. Now, this is something of a challenge which we need to address as well, because if you look at the world, if you look at the Stanfords, Harvards, MITs, and other wonderful universities of the world, you realize that many entrepreneurs in fact have come out of these universities from their research, from the billions of dollars that they spend on research. Unfortunately, in India, while we do not have luxury of, we do not have a problem of luxury of ideas, we do have a problem of poverty of capital, So therefore, we may not as governments be able to give our universities great deal of funding when it comes to research and development, but we certainly can collaborate with the private sector. That's why we came up with an idea called RICH. Now, RICH is basically all about bringing in collaboration between industry, academia, and the private sector as well, so that this continuum of wanting to encourage more and more innovation, wanting to create more and more products and more entrepreneurial ideas, which will have a large societal impact, also, gets a huge fillip. For those job seekers, for those of you who want to be a job seeker, for those of you who would rather be a job seeker, we've also created what is called as TASK, Telangana Academy for Skill and Knowledge. Now again, this is more like a finishing school where you can walk in and basically spruce up and hone your communication skills and other skills as well. We have also established TSIC, the Telangana State Innovation Cell. This again can help you. If you have an idea, if you have some kind of an innovation, you can work cohesively with other like-minded innovators and come out with something especially when it comes to rural innovators or social innovators, I would strongly encourage you to work with TSIC, the Telangana State Innovation Cell, which again is headed by a gentleman called Phanindra Sama, who is the founder of Red Bus. He's a guy from Nizamabad, a youngster from Nizamabad who went to Bangalore, who was working like Sri Charan in Wipro, or I think it was Kakatiya Sandbox, of course. But prior to that, he was actually working at Wipro in Bangalore. And then he chanced upon this idea. He, again, same thing like Travis, he wanted to book a bus to his hometown, Nizamabad. But implicit, he wanted to book a bus to his hometown, Nizamabad. Unfortunately, he did not find a great solution online. So he created what is called as redbus.com or .in, I think it is. And now today it is again valued quite handsomely, and he's made a good exit as well. So he's heading our TSIC, Telangana State Innovation Cell. These are stories you can draw inspiration from all around you. These are day-to-day problems, day-to-day people who've actually found something, who chanced upon something, created an ingenious solution, and that's how today they are able to build, talk about a story that they've built, which is hugely successful, hugely recognized. I also want to talk about two last things and then I'll quit. We've also launched for young women here in this room. We've also launched in this very campus, in fact, I think it must be right next door, what is called a V-Hub, Women Entrepreneurs Hub. So if you're keen on working with other women entrepreneurs, other women, other young women, again, this is an opportunity. We can connect you to them as well. We also are going to launch what is called as T-Works. Now, T-Works will ensure that an innovator can translate his idea into a prototype. For those of you who are not on the technology side or not on the software side and who want to actually build something, a prototype, etc., into hardware, you can use T-Works, which will also be up and running, I think, in a few months from now. Finally, I would just sum up with one thing. It's a cliche now to keep reminding all of you that India as a country is a young country and you are our strength, etc., etc. But the time I believe has come for youngsters in India now to step up to the challenge. Because so far along, India has only been known as a country which is a back office for the rest of the world. If you watch a Hollywood movie or if you watch even a Netflix series, you realize that there is a lot of, I wouldn't call it a smear really, but I would definitely say a lot of stereotyping out there, where people believe that India is essentially a call center for the rest of the world. Now, do we want to continue to live with the stigma, continue to live with the smear? I don't think so. We are more capable than that, especially you guys. You guys are more capable than that. So my request, I urge you, I appeal to you that you should start looking out a bit more often around the society that we live in. You should start looking at the day-to-day situations that you face and possibly start exploring it as an opportunity. Look at every challenge, treat it as an opportunity. Like Sri Charan pointed out, yes, you will fail. It's not like you're going to strike gold with the very first idea that you'll chance upon. But start celebrating your failure as well. It's not always about, celebrating successes. Start celebrating your failure. Start working on a solution tenaciously. Start coming out, start going at a problem, as hard as you can. And if you pursue with a single-minded focus and devotion, nothing will stop an idea whose time has come. Many congratulations to Ameya. Many congratulations to all the participants. I wish you all good luck, and I wish the key makers, session here a huge success. Thank you very much.